Okay guys, so of course, in true princess fashion, what happened was Pete and I went to sit down and we're like, you know what? There's got to be a better spot out there. So we walked a few yards to another patch of grass and we're like, yeah, I can hear some construction way off in the distance, like way off in the distance.
Usually you wouldn't be able to hear anything.
Usually you wouldn't be able to hear anything. But we were like, you can kind of hear some construction way off in the distance. So we're like, okay. So then we move a little bit further, right? And then we're like, let's set up shop here. And you can hear the lawnmowers, and you could hear like the little Central Park cars that are like beep, 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 beep. And we're like, let's just keep going. So then we're like, okay, that spot over there, that is the spot. That is the spot. So we get there. And there's the worst smell we have ever smelled in our whole life. I mean, Pete, it's in my nose still. We don't even know what was it, Pete?
I don't know. It's gone.
It's not gone, though. It's lingering. Something must have died. I don't know what it was, but it was the worst smell ever. So then we had to run away from that spot. But we did. Eventually, we found the perfect spot where all you can hear in the distance is
birds chirping, and you can hear a saxophone, faint sound of a saxophone in the distance.
That is what you want. That is actually, I would say, a prerequisite for being in the park. You need to hear a saxophone lightly playing in the distance, some birds, see some runners going by. This is the best view. And nothing but trees. And we are under like the shade of a tree or some sun. We got rocks behind us, birds. Yeah, this is living. I could be here all day. This is like the place to be. And we took off our masks because there's no one even slightly close to us. And that's the thing, is it's like you start to become a little bit greedy because you're like, I want the perfect patch of grass with no one around. And there's so many places in the park to find that. And we literally did. We did. It took us a minute. But we found the perfect place to hang. And there's this like cool breeze. All right. So with that being said, I think we need to dive into our Cinco de Mayo food. Guys, how are you doing? We got lunch. We got the scoops. Do you have all the dips?
Yep,
wait, where's the other dip that I bought?
It's right here, but I think we're good for now. Unless you want to try. Let's try it.
I kind of am curious. It said like tequila flavored.
Oh yeah. Oh nice.
It's like, that's interesting. Wait, is this mine? Is this the cheese?
I think that one's
It's still warm. We were like, is it gonna be cold by the time we find where we are? Literally, I can't. You have to see where we are right now. Look at this. I'm gonna be quiet for a second just so you can see where we are. This is the perfect spot. Now I think is the perfect time for me to talk about grounding. Wouldn't you say?
I'm going to start. Is that all right?
Yes. You can start eating. So I watched this video that was all about how they did like 20 studies on this thing called grounding, which is where you take off your shoes and your socks and you physically stand in the grass, and how it's supposed to be anti-inflammatory. Calling. Isn't that fun? I wonder what she's doing. I can't wait to talk to her. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. So then you stand in the grass. I instantly feel more relaxed. There is something but because we all have shoes that have rubber soles, we don't often ground to the actual soil. And so try it. The next time in the video I watched, they were giving all these examples of people who were noticing things about when they grounded. One woman had a baby and she was holding the baby, and every time she would hold the baby, it would cry all the time. But one time she took her shoes and socks off and was standing in the grass, and the baby was so relaxed. And she thought, well, maybe it's because I'm outside. But when she puts the baby in the stroller, the baby's crying. But the second she's like shoes off, connected to the earth, the baby is like relaxed right away. I think there's something to grounding. So if you haven't grounded yet today, I've been doing it. I've been trying to do it, if not every day, every other day for sure. And I'll just stand in the grass and meditate. How is it? Is it good? Is it Taco Bell, Pete?
It's good. Yeah, it's all right.
You know it's not.
No, it's all right.
Based off what he's saying. I don't know why, but I also brought these cookies, which, by the way, I've eaten pretty much all of them by myself because Pete doesn't like oatmeal raisin. But I found these at the store. Don't these look so good? They are really good. What else did we bring? Is that all we brought? Did you also bring the other chips too?
Guacamole chips? Yeah.
We got other chips.
Sorry.
Where's Creepy Anya?
He's in the bag. Sorry about that, Creepy Anya.
Okay. Let's get her. A fan gave me this. Kansas City. Okay. We got some prosciutto, because this is our Italian way. We got some salami and some cheese. And some chips, some normal chips. Guacamole chips. And you know your green drink is in there.
Is it?
Yeah, I put the
Awesome,
green drink.
thank you.
Oh, creepy. Look at these birds, you guys. The birds, like, they just come up. The birds come right up to you. They come right up to you. That's what's been happening now, is like all the animals. Yeah, like the birdies are like hanging out with us. You guys, I'm Snow White. What does Snow White sing? I think I sang it before. Is it Someday My Prince Will Come? What does Snow White sing? Ah, ah. Oh, they don't like my singing. I'll never be a... Somebody said it's Creepy Anya's birthday. Is that real? Is it Creepy Anya's birthday today? You guys, it's Creepy Anya's birthday? We didn't even do anything special.
Happy birthday, Creepy Anya.
Happy birthday, Creepy Anya. Mwah. What do we do? Well, don't worry, Creepy. We'll do something special for you later. The day is not over. We're here, living all day on the Princess Party, on Broadway Princess Party. So yeah, if you haven't grounded, give it a try. It's pretty amazing. But the guy talks about how it's almost better than taking like Advil every night, which now I know nobody's taking Advil. So if you want to give it a try, it's just amazing. Like yesterday, I was grounding, or a few days ago, I'll say it was a few days ago. I was grounding, and a squirrel came right up to me. And that's the thing. It's because there's less people in the park. It's like the animals, they just know. Like this is a friendly time. Everybody's friendly now. I can't explain it, but it's just there's an energy in the air. Like everything is chill. Like look at these birds. They're eating like leaves, I think. I think they're eating leaves. There's no like food around here. There's like some really pretty, they're eating these, I think. Is that possible? Like little dead leaves? I don't know, they smell good. They're eating something. Sometimes I see them. That's okay. Sometimes I see them like pulling out worms. That's the other thing that's so crazy is you can just... It sounds silly to say, but I feel like we are connected to New York now in a way that we weren't able to be because there were just so many people here. And I know it's going to get back to normal again, and that's going to be great, but I feel like this time is also a gift, and it is a time that we can be spending appreciating, the things that are good that came out of this. And one of the most amazing things is New York City feels like an actual neighborhood, which is like crazy. Wouldn't you say, Pete?
People are definitely remembering what's more important in life, you know?
Yeah. Like finding the perfect spot in the park. You know what? But it's the little things. It's the little things. I'm gonna try this, and I will be the decider, okay? Can you hold this for just a second while I open up my... Did we throw out the napkins they gave us?
They're behind me. I'll get them.
Here, I'll get you the napkins. Here's some napkins. Last time we went...
Give me one. Thanks.
Shit. All right, let me be the decider here. Okay, still warm.
Am I getting you?
Oh, yeah, it's like a pepper jack. Okay. Okay, Christy. I mean, it's not a Reba. It's not Taco Bell, but
It's not El Ranchero.
I wouldn't make it on my own. That's pretty good.
It's not El Ranchero in PTC, Georgia, but still pretty good.
Okay, shout out to Georgia. El Ranchero, the best of the best. Oh my God.
Hopefully one day we'll be able to go back.
If you live in Georgia or you have an El Ranchero near you, you have to get their cheese dip. It's like this big white milky, I can't explain it. They just take cheese and melt it.
Heaven.
It's like the best thing I've ever had. This is good. This will do. This will make me feel like I celebrated Cinco de Mayo.
You know what's cool about the park? Let me do a quick observation.
Okay.
And I'm not making fun, but this person looks like they're like stretching to exercise, but also dressed like Mary Poppins, right?
Yeah. Wait,
It's,
can you see them? Can you see the person? Yeah, there. That's one. Oh, this birdie wants. Oh no, we shouldn't give them the bread, right? They want the bread though.
Hello.
Hello. If we start feeding the birds, we're not going to be able to stop, right? And there's nothing we have for them. He's like, just give me one. Oh, this is going to make me sad now. Because you know I want to feed a bird. What do you think is good? Do you think a bird can eat chips? Do you guys think birds... Everyone says no bread.
Yeah, I hear bread's not good for them.
What about chips?
People always feed them bread, but it doesn't mean it's good for them.
Is chips bad? Tell me. Hi, the Megan Meyer. Hi. Hi, Jenny. Where is Mexican restaurant in Georgia? Where is it, Pete?
In Peachtree City?
Aren't there two, though, in Peachtree City?
There are two, yeah.
What about chips? Somebody tell me. Birds will eat anything. Don't feed the birds. No chips. Okay. But look, now there's two. It's like they know that I want to feed them. It's like they're aware. We haven't fed them anything yet, but they know. They're looking at me like, it's time. Pete and I did this once. Should I admit this?
Sure. I don't know what you're talking about, but...
There was a cold, rainy day at Seaside Heights. And Pete and I went to the beach. And we brought warm hoagies with us to the beach. And the seagulls came down. And they were like just looking at us like, because there was nobody on the beach and they're starving. There's just us on the beach with our hoagies. So we're like, we'll give them a little bit of our bread. We gave them a little bit of our bread.
All their friends showed up.
And literally, I swear it was like a call. One of the seagulls
was like, yo!
Like bound down his feet and was like, do you remember that? And then they all started flocking. And then those guys would be like, like they're making like a noise to everyone else. And then Pete was like doing this thing where he was like, I am the Lord of the seagulls, and they're just all these seagulls. Like it was like it was an audience of seagulls in front of us, and Pete would like take some bread and throw. We ended up giving them. I think we only had a couple bites.
I remember it was so long ago, and they were meatball subs. So yeah,
meatball subs.
If you want to know what seagulls are really into, you'd think seafood, but actually they're really into meatballs. Meatball subs.
Meatball subs. And so, yeah. And so we basically fed them almost our entire... I don't think we gave them the meat.
No,
we just gave them the bread. But we fed them almost everything. And, yeah, that was a fun day. It was just raining, and we were like, let's go to the beach. I don't know why it happened that way, but... But not today. Okay, it's good. Now I want to try our new dip. Will you open it, Pete?
Yeah. This one?
Creepy. You want some chips? What do we open? The hint of lime or the scoopers?
Let's open both.
Yeah. Why was I even asking? Of course you open both. Please eat the dip. I know. The dip. The park is beautiful. I know.
I'm gonna go scoop first because it's gonna be more plain flavored.
You guys, I
properly taste.
I almost am like hesitant to share the secrets of the park out loud to people because not many people know. This is where it is at. Like, I would literally, if I lived in another state, I would come here just to go to the park.
Oh, I will always come this way.
I was so tempted to call my mom and be like, brave it.
They should drive up. Yeah, all right, maybe not.
They can't. They can't.
There's something going on.
There's something going on right now that they
forgot
can't.
about that for a
But the
second.
thing is, I just
Cheers.
wish they could because now it's time. Okay, here we go. Cheers. Okay.
Yeah, very good.
Not only that, Pete, I picked that thing in 2 seconds flat.
Very impressive.
I had a choice between many you guys saw. And this was the one I picked. Wow. You guys, this one's
We were
really
those
good.
people in the line at the register. We had rang up everything and then decided to run back and go on.
Dessert, pepper, tequila, and it tastes exactly what...
Desert.
What? Oh, sorry.
It's alright, it's all good. It's all
It's because
good.
everything is sugar to me. I'm like, dessert?
Actually, that's... If someone right now
Do you know how to...
from Tostitos is watching, they're like, wait, we need dessert sauce.
Tostitos. Make some dessert salsa now. Some spicy dessert salsa with cinnamon. I will eat that all up. No, but you know the whole thing of how to spell dessert or desert. You know the difference? Dessert has 2 S's because you always want more. You always want more dessert. You don't always want more desert. Even though I said it wrong when I was reading it. But dessert pepper, tequila salsa. And it says medium burn, which is I think is why it's so good because when you first put it in, it's almost like a musky, it's like a peppery, a cracked pepper tequila flavor when you first put it in your mouth, and then it like the salsa-y like burning happens after. It's good. And it's not too much. It's perfect. We should have been dipping.
Lime too.
Yeah. Oh, it is. We should have been dipping this into dipping our quesadilla into that. Oh no, sorry. Emily said that she had a rough day and this is very relaxing.
Well, I hope you have a better day.
Let's look at the birds for a minute.
Hey, bird.
There's a little one over there.
Now with birds, are the males the more colorful ones because they're trying to impress the females?
I think
is
you're
it
right.
Kind of like in reverse.
I think it is kind of in reverse. I could be wrong, but I think
kind of like peacocking, right? That's like the idea.
Yeah, I saw. Oh wow, the hint of lime is where it's at. I gotta say, I love the scoops because they're easier to use, but the hint of lime is like taking me away right now. No, I think like today or yesterday when I was walking through the park before I got interviewed about my feelings about the park, yesterday I saw 2 squirrels like cat and mousing, like running back and forth, you know, because it's spring. And you could tell which one was the male and which one was the female. And the male definitely looked like beautiful. Big, bushy tail. Whereas the female had like a tail, but it was like a little thinner and like lighter colored. I could be completely wrong, but that's what I thought in my head.
Wait, are the male peacocks the ones who are showing off?
Yeah.
It's
the male peacock, yeah. Does anybody know the answer to this? Oh, Christy, have you tried Costa Rican food? Yes? Have we?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe? I mean, we did go to Costa Rica, so I think we did. We had the food there. Yeah.
It was good.
It was good, but is there a specific Costa Rican dish that we need to try? Is there like a specialty something? I'm wearing the Anastasia merch I got when I saw it in Pantages. Oh, nice! With the great Lila Coogan. Thanks, guys. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, what about Korean food? Pete was born in South Korea.
We love Korean food. We love Korean food.
We crave Korean food. My favorite thing is kimchi jjigae.
Ooh,
is that what it's called?
So good, yeah.
I like kimchi jjigae. I like, we love like Korean barbecue, clearly.
Yeah.
It's a special thing. It's expensive, but it's worth it.
It might be my favorite type of food.
Oh, now I know what we're doing for your birthday.
I have a lot of favorite foods. So
I mean, we're not doing it, but we can order it from Vaughn.
Mm-hmm.
That's the good thing, though. It's like we really should be supporting local businesses.
Yeah, when we can. Absolutely.
As much as we can, and so. But it's a weird thing because it's like you just don't know. Like these restaurants in the city we think are doing well because we order from them all the time, but you never know how much they're struggling, and it's not easy to put up a restaurant. It's really, and especially with the way the rent is these days, it's just out of control. Will I come to Massachusetts once quarantine is done? Massachusetts?
Weren't you supposed to teach there?
I think I was supposed to maybe princess party there. I don't know. We gotta figure it out.
Did you ever? Yeah.
But nothing is nothing is off the table. They have to princess party is gonna be up and running once it's safe and able to be, just like everything else. Ooh, this lighting. Oof. We literally are in the middle of like a bird feeding area. Isn't that
What are they
great?
eating?
I don't know. They're eating.
Or are they just searching?
I think they probably smell our food. That makes me sad. Do you think they smell our food? How's Pete doing at the fire station? Glad to see he gets a day off.
Thank you. Everything's good. Everything's good. Thanks. I just got off this morning.
Yeah, Pete was doing a 24 yesterday. How was it? I want to try that dip. Is it good?
Yeah, it's really good.
It's like a creamy dip. It's called dessert. It's called desert pepper what?
Chili con queso.
Chili con queso. Okay. I'm going to try it with a regular chip first.
That's what I did the other day.
And then I will try it with one of these. Mmm. Okay. Okay, I lied when I said I like the other salsa. Because clearly cheese is better. Like, clearly.
It's pretty amazing.
Obviously. My daughter is watching this during dialysis, and it's really making her day. Thank you.
Oh, God bless her. That's awesome.
God bless you. God bless you. And happy Cinco de Mayo.
And we're happy that you're able to hang out with us while you're doing your dialysis.
If you're not in a place where there's much nature around,
You can be here with us.
You can be right here with us. And the birds. No, it looks like the birds are definitely eating those little chips. They smell something.
Maybe other people figured this was a really good picnic spot too, and they left a little bit of crumbs.
Maybe there's some crumbs. But people have been doing such a good job at not leaving.
Yeah, one great thing about the park is there's very little litter in the park. People are very respectful. Wouldn't you say?
Very little litter. And the fact that so many people come in and out of the park, it's amazing. Even
leave only your footprints.
Leave only your footprints. Yeah. Even the sheep's meadow, which we wanted to go into today, that was another one. Like on our walk, we're like, well, maybe sheep's meadow, which is basically, if you don't know Central Park, sheep's meadow is this like flat piece of grass. How big would you say? It's pretty big.
Yeah, it's big. I don't know.
It's like a massive, like, and that's where a lot of people will picnic. Like, it's like you go in and it's not hilly. There's not like really many animals in there. Sometimes you see a bird flying around.
A frisbee.
It's good for throwing a frisbee. It's good for like playing guitar, hanging out. A lot of times people will have picnics there because it's flat. But sometimes they close it, so they had it closed. You know what it is? I think it's the day after rain, because it rained yesterday, didn't it?
Did it? Maybe.
Or did it not? No, it didn't. I don't know.
Maybe they gotta cut the grass.
They gotta cut the grass, probably. So yeah, the park has been just a godsend. And it's like, what do they say is like, if you were to talk about the positive news of what's going on right now, the positive news is what it has been doing to the environment and the trees and the air quality, and it's just, you can see, it's just, you can hear the birds. Do you hear that? Sorry, I should be answering questions. You made my 10-year-old smile now. Thank you. She didn't want to go to dialysis today. Biggest smile on her face now. Oh, coconut recipe. What? Cronut recipe. Okay. It's really easy. You just take those apple peanut butter crescent rolls, like those crescent rolls that you get, the Pillsbury ones. You cut them into the look of a donut. There's so many easy cronut recipes online. It's like out of control. But I usually just use it's not hard to do. You just get like sugar, canola oil, and it's a fun project. It's definitely, you want to be careful not to get too much oil all over your kitchen, but cronuts is the way to go. Do you want cronuts for your birthday, Pete?
Sure. That'd be perfect. You don't have to do all that. It's a bit of a process.
What's my favorite thing to paint?
It's funny because we've been talking about getting into painting.
Yeah, Pete and I were talking about getting into painting. I was actually looking at some paint by numbers things to buy myself the other day. I might do some of that. Are you coming to London in the future? Well, I would love to go to London. Pete and I had such a great year last year. We went to China, we went to Morocco, we went to Costa Rica and Aspen, and we would love to go back to Europe for sure.
We can't wait. One thing about this thing is we can't wait till once it gets resolved or managed, then we can all start traveling again.
Mm-hmm. My only biggest regret is not having been able to see Anastasia in the other countries.
Oh, yeah.
So I hope that if there's anything still running, I can get a chance. But are you coming to LA anytime soon? Once again, I would love to. Yes, absolutely would love to. Now I'm going to make it happen. What films and shows are you binge watching? We're watching, we've been watching Westworld, but lately we're like not watching it anymore because it's like kind of violent. So we like to try to watch like a little more uplifting things. My mom is obsessed with Afterlife right now, which I haven't gotten into. Is there anything that you would like to put into the pot, Pete?
I don't know any good shows right now. We need some recommendations.
Yeah, actually we need what am I saying? We need recommendations. Well, I run the Boston Marathon if you ever need a place to stay. Oh, thanks. Someday I might.
You're definitely fast enough to make it to Boston.
Thanks, Pete. Thank you. Can you sing happy birthday to all the May babies? Absolutely. I mean, I don't want to bore you, but I'm going to do it. Here.
Can you hold this?
Yes. Right. And part of it is for you too, Pete, because you are also a May baby.
Oh, thank you, sweetie.
So this is me. I'm not on Cameo. So this is to all the May babies. Wait, where's my crown? Why can't I find my crown?
Where'd you put it? Is it in the back of the bag? No, it's behind you. It's right behind you.
It's right behind you? Oh, there it is. Okay, are you ready? Hello, May baby.
Is it on you?
Yes. This is a special message just for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear May. Birthday baby. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Anya says happy birthday. The world is beautiful. I love you. Mwah.
Beautiful, Christy.
I miss singing so much. I miss it so much.
Give a little bit.
I've stubbed my teeth. Ew.
Not too bad. I don't think you can tell on that.
Thanks, Pete. By the way, this is our favorite water. This one's mine, right? The one that's almost...
no. Which one is yours?
The one that's almost gone was mine.
Yeah.
Here you go. Mountain Valley water is my absolute favorite water. I think because it's in a glass bottle.
Good.
And it just tastes so good. And it seems like they must like leave whatever the natural minerals are in it, because it's bottled in the Ouachita Mountains in the USA. Yeah, this is like, if you ever come across this water, in my opinion, is the best tasting water I've ever had in my whole life.
Or if you're ever in the Ouachita Mountains.
Yeah, if you're ever...
Definitely have to go.
Could you please pick me up some water if you're in the Ouachita Mountains?
Definitely drink some of the local water.
Put some in a flask and bring it on over to me. Ooh, you can hear his break is over. The saxophone player. Can you hear this? I don't know if you can hear the saxophone player. I'm going to be quiet.
I'm going to go climb the rock here.
You want to see if we can see him?
He's on the other side.
Okay. I'll try to keep an eye out that no, that's the other thing, is there's no bugs now yet because of it's just spring. Let's go climb and see if we can see him. You can hear him. Pete, is that a graveyard over there? Is that a graveyard?
No, that's your summer station.
Oh, that's where... Right there? No, right there. There's a graveyard. Yeah. We gotta go check that out. At least I think there's...
I'm going to cover up the songs real quick.
Will you
The
cover?
birds right now are like, they're gone. They're gone.
Will you cover up the Will you just cover up my food real quick? I'm not wearing shoes. Oh well. Ooh. Pete, will you get my external charger?
What's that?
Will you get my external charger too?
Yeah.
Thanks. This is dangerous, you guys. Don't try this at home. We hear nothing but birds and this really cool saxophone player. I'm still not wearing shoes. Oh, there, you can see him. Do you see him? Okay. I'm curious to what this is. Memorial tree. World War 1917 to 1918 by Company F 307th Infantry, 77th Division. Wow. That's insane. So this is, Pete, this is a World War memorial. Is it World War One?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, it's a World War
This
One.
is not where Summer Stage was. I was wrong.
What's up there? That's the other thing about the park, you guys.
Always discovering the thing.
You're always discovering. I mean, we didn't know that existed. That's the thing about the park is like, you don't know what you're gonna find. I feel like every time I come into the park, there's like something new to see. And so we go back to our little home base. I left my ukulele there, Pete. I hope nobody's taken it. Ooh, can you give me the charger?
Oh, here you go.
I know this is a very long live. I know. I still probably have stuff in my teeth. I know.
I think you're good.
I'm not really answering the questions. Okay, let's see. During the gap that Anya spent after losing her family, ask him to play Journey to the Past. Stay with me, hold me tight. Do you think Anastasia really survived? What are you guys talking about over here? If you're asking me about Anastasia, do I think she survived? I think she survived in the hearts of those who love the Romanov family. And I think that is why the legend runs so deep, because it was a time that was, while it was a time of turmoil, the Romanovs represented just like this kind of beacon of light. They actually weren't raised really much like princesses. If you look into their story, their mother was kind of raised in a very humble way, and she wanted her daughters to also be raised in that way. So they weren't even really raised amongst the royals. They had like a palace that they would stay at most of the time, where they had chores, and they all wore the same outfits every day. They didn't have like fancy clothes. They were raised to be of the people, which I think is kind of what's so sad, right? Because they were almost penalized for being so rich and wealthy when I think they were fighting so hard to just be like everyone else. It's like kind of this weird paradigm, right? How's it going up there? What are you doing?
It's like being on the rocks. I don't know.
Just being on the rocks, being kids today. Look at that tree. That looks like a fun tree to climb. Right there. I bet some people have climbed that tree before. I like to swim in a clear blue stream where the chips are hints of lime. Listen to these birds. I think we found our spot.
I love the spot.
I think that I don't know if we'll ever find it again.
That's kind of fun stuff, you know?
That's the other thing is I know the running path, but the inside of the park is so actually the man who designed Central Park designed it. This is a true story. He designed it specifically so you would get lost. So when you go in, there's all these windy things, and you never know quite where you are. But that was on purpose because New York is like a grid, and it's really easy to like know where you are at all times. But the man that designed the park wanted it to feel like you have to kind of slow down when you get into the park and not care about time and not think about time while you're in the park. And I kind of love that. Because when I go to the park, usually, look at this dude. But when you go into the park, sometimes, like, you feel that, like, relaxed vibe, and you wish you could just be here all day. And we spent some, like, full days here. It's your birthday? You didn't even tell me? No, I know. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I wore maroon in honor of you. Okay, I'm sorry. We're gonna celebrate her later, I promise. Well, like, usually this path is filled with runners. It's like a neighborhood. There's some runners, people out with dogs, birds everywhere. Look at the trees. Were you just singing much more from the Fantastics? Yes, I was. I just played Louisa, but the show was canceled. I'm so sorry. That stinks. That song is so fun, isn't it? I hope that they end up putting the show back on. Remember getting lost last year when I was trying public for Hercules, but it was worth... Oh, yeah. So when you tried out, you were trying to get to the public. Yeah, because there's a theater here that does Shakespeare and all sorts of shows in the park, but it's easy to get lost. It's very easy to get lost because the park is so twisty-turny on purpose. Actually, I think I lived here for like 7 or 8 years. I want to say before I met Pete, I had never been to the reservoir, which is this beautiful area of water, body of water in the center of the park, and you can jog around it as the sun's going down. It's so pretty. And usually that's a spot I will go when the park gets crowded, because it's usually a little more, it feels more open, less congestion. But now this is like, it's better to just be here. You could be anywhere in the park for the most part. I say that, but then we had to move like 20 different places. Happy birthday, Creepy Anya. I know. Happy birthday, Creepy Anya, says Max Gutman. Hi, Max. My school show was 2. I got the lead for the first time as well. I'm so sorry. What's your favorite way to de-stress? I like to ground, which if you're watching, you put your feet in the ground. I did yoga this morning. I like to meditate. I watch on YouTube, they have these like oh, he's coming back. He wants some. On YouTube, they have these binaural beats, which I like to listen to. I think my favorite is called Meditative Mind. And what they have is like kind of these mesmerizing, visuals, and then you just like close your eyes and listen to the tones, and they're usually pretty like happy sounding. I also like listening to meditation on my Alexa app. So if you're like, Alexa, like ask, and you ask to play meditation music, that's like really fun. So that's how I de-stress, and being in nature in general. What are you doing for the rest of the day? Well, at 3 o'clock, I think I have an appointment at 3. What time is it now, Pete?
12:42.
Oh, okay. I think I have an appointment at 3. I have to answer some questions. And then, what am I going to do the rest of the day? I think I was thinking of maybe taking you guys to Times Square to see what it looks like and to see how desolate it is. Because anyone who's like a big theater buff has been to New York, and you've seen what it usually looks like. And it's so weird because I live in the area. I don't think it looks that strange, because if you wake up early enough, like 5 o'clock in the morning or so, and you walk down to that area, it's pretty desolate. Like, everyone says this is the city that never sleeps, but this city sleeps. You know, if you wake up early enough, Times Square can be completely dead. Right after the ball drops in Times Square, everyone leaves and it's completely dead. So it can be really quiet and desolate, but the thing that's creepy about it now is that like in the middle of the day and in like the evening, it's really, really desolate, because there's no theaters open. You know, all of the like clothing stores and stuff in Times Square are closed down. So it's just, what makes it weird is the time of day that it's so quiet. What's your favorite gummies? That's an easy question. What are the, oh my gosh, I said that's an easy question and I forgot. Smushies, is that what they're called? Smushies, those white and pink gummies.
White and pink what?
The white and pink gummies that I love.
Oh, I can't remember. You know about a candy.
Squashies.
Really good.
Squashies. So good. Take you to the Broadhurst. Oh yeah, I'll take you to the Broadhurst today. We can go see Jagged Little Pill. How are you experiencing the coronavirus emergency in America? Well, everyone's doing the best they can. People are trying to stay quarantined. I haven't seen my parents since it happened. I haven't traveled anywhere. I haven't been on a subway in over 2 months. We're lucky because we live close enough to the park that we can go. But yeah, we've, as much as it seems like we're free as a bird, we're complying with everything that has been asked of us. And the death count is going down. If you guys haven't been keeping up with what's happening in America, it's like down to like the 200s somewhere a day. So hopefully the death count will get down to like, I don't know, almost nothing, and then we'll be able to open up at least a little bit just to see. But what's so great is Governor Cuomo is just doing such a fantastic job at explaining it to the people, like what our strategy is and why our strategy is the way it is and what things need. Like, he literally has like checkpoints. It's like, if in this area of New York this and this are not in place, we can't open anything. So I feel really safe. I feel like no matter what happens, you know, if people start to get more coronavirus, he will shut it down, or we'll have like the availability in the hospitals, and that the people who are high risk will know to stay extra careful and to stay inside and to keep doing all the stuff that they're supposed to be doing during this time. So yeah, to answer your question, that's kind of what's going on right now. But it is a little strange, because I think what happened was when everything hit in New York City, everybody was like, I gotta go home. So everyone left the city, and Pete and I stayed. And so the city is like, there's like no one in it. Especially where we live, like right in the center is where most of the Oh, they're both beautiful. Never mind, I take back what I said. Spring has sprung. You want to hang out with us? I want to sing a happy song. Da 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 da. Those squirrels came by to say, stop talking about COVID. Let's focus on the positives. The positives are, we shut down so that we could take a time to be quiet and to focus on the things that really matter in life, which is our families, our loved ones, the environment, and getting back to that quiet part in our hearts where we can ask, what are we really meant for on this earth? What am I supposed to contribute to the earth? And some of us have been on the right track all along, and some of us have some work to do, and they gotta go dive deep. And this is a moment to pause and dive deep and ask, how am I gonna shine my light to the world? And that's a scary thing to say. It takes a lot of courage to be able to say to yourself, you know, maybe what I've been doing has not been the path I'm supposed to lead. And thank God for this time in isolation where I can ask myself those questions. And I have no doubt in my mind that this too shall pass. It'll probably take a couple years for it to, you know, really flush out, and for us to have things in place where we can all feel really safe. Or maybe it'll be sooner than we think. And then once in a while you see a helicopter in the sky. I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to like show it to you. But yeah, we're all just doing the best we can. Oh, thank you so much, Tara Fitzgerald Murphy. Say hi to the helicopter. Hi, helicopter. How do you stand during an audition? I have done so many auditions, but I'm having trouble getting good parts. How do you stand out during an audition? You know, it's really about the baby steps and putting in the work and not being afraid to just train. I mean, training is really like the main thing when it comes to auditioning. Is the more you train, the easier auditions become, because at the end of the day, the training is the way that the nerves go away. So it really begins before the audition itself is even in existence. So it's about learning the art of tuning the body, much like our body is, you know, much like we know our body is our instrument. Well, you can't just take any old piano from millions, like 1,000-year-old piano, and just start playing it and it's going to sound the best as a brand new piano, right? So pianos that, you know, might have some kinks in them need to be tuned or aligned. Like my guitar usually needs to be aligned. So we have to tune our bodies. So how do we tune our bodies? And you do yoga, you do breathing exercises, you work on how to silence the mind, affirmations, reminding yourself how special you are. And then when you shift your frame of thought away from fear for auditions, and you then step into a place of power and a love for auditioning, and seeing it more like a performance, the whole experience becomes more fun. And
Christy, I'll be back in a couple minutes.
okay. And when you're training, you have the opportunity to fall on your face, make make stupid mistakes and forget your lines and whatever in a safe environment. And even when you audition, you have moments like that where you're nervous or whatever, and you learn how to combat those feelings. The nerves never completely go away. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. But when you have done everything that you possibly can do from the moment you wake up in the morning to the moment you go to sleep, all you can do is pat yourself on the back and say, I did the best I could have done. And so when something doesn't go your way, I always say it's a blessing in disguise, helping you grow stronger and better than before. So pat yourself on the back and recognize that it is a blessing in disguise, that you weren't getting the parts that you wanted, and that it's just taking those baby steps forward. And the fact that you auditioned at all, that's the pat on the back. Like the fact that you continued the training. They say it's 10,000 hours to become an expert at something. So don't be so hard on yourself. It takes 10,000 hours to be an expert. So the steps that you're taking now are planting seeds for the future, for those moments in the sun that you're going to have. We all have our moment in the sun. If you keep moving forward and you keep focused on it, I have friends that have gotten to do amazing things, and didn't think it was going to happen for them. And so it's just, they kept moving forward, and they kept fighting, and they kept striving, and then one day someone says it's your turn. So I hope that helps. Yeah. Whew, guys, I'm feeling like a guru under this tree right now. Pete's gone. I guess he didn't want to hear the audition chatty talk. I feel like I deserve something after that chat, like a cookie. What about the cereal stock? What? The real questions, did you replenish the cereal stock? Oh, that's a very good question. Who asked me that question? Emily Catherine. Very good question. If you've been watching my Instagram, which by the way, look at these guys. If you've been watching my Instagram, I did eat all of the charms out of the Lucky Charms. And I think Pete and I gave up on cereal for a bit. I think there comes a time when you've eaten like 3 boxes in a row within like 2 days straight. You gotta say to yourself, I need a break. I need to take a rest from the cereal. There's so many other things to try, Okay, so my live is saying I have 1 minute and 20 seconds remaining, so I'm gonna end now, and I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching and hanging out with me. I love you. I'll see you soon. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break, finish my cookie, and I'll see you soon. Love you. Bye.